In the headline, a life is lost in a Dennery Road accident on Sunday. A controversial TV personality is arrested during a Sunday motorcade, and the Royal St. Lucia Police Force gives an explanation behind the controversial arrest. All this and more coming up in tonight's broadcast.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Loveless and Amy Joseph.
It is Monday, the 15th of June, 2020. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News edition on Flow Channel 117, Kiss FM, and our Caribbean Hot FM mobile app. I'm Rochelle Gonzalez. Thank you for joining us. One man has lost his life after he was involved in a deadly crash involving a motor vehicle and two motorcycles on Sunday. Fire Service spokeswoman Stacey Joseph gave the details of the incident on Monday morning.
The Dennery Fire Station received a call on Sunday 15th June at approximately 8:40 p.m. informing of a motor vehicular incident involving two motorcycles and another motor vehicle at Lackey Dennery. The responding officers found one vehicle across the road with two damaged motorcycles to the rear of the vehicle. Three individuals were found on the scene, one of whom was lying on his back on the road. A quick examination revealed that the individual was pulseless and breathless. He was immediately transferred to the ambulance where CPR was initiated. Rapid transportation was given to the Dennery Hospital where he was pronounced dead by a medical practitioner. The other two individuals were assessed on the scene and both refused transportation to a medical facility.
The cause of the accident is currently being investigated. In other news, controversial TV personality Christopher Hunt was detained by police in Canaries on Sunday afternoon whilst he took part in what was dubbed an unlawful motorcade. The arrest was captured on video and was posted on social media, showing Hunt calmly questioning the arresting officer over why he was being targeted and arrested. Shortly after, Hunt complied with the officer and was placed in a police vehicle and taken to custody suites in Castries. He has since been released on bail. In similar news, the Royal St. Lucia Police Force has issued a statement on Monday morning giving a detailed explanation behind the arrest of a well-known TV personality on Sunday. In the statement, the police say the Royal St. Lucia Police Force was made aware of an unauthorized motorcade scheduled for Sunday, June 14, 2020, commencing in the city of Castries at 11 a.m. The procession was advertised with stops in all constituencies around the island, as per a clip from the Can I Help You talk show hosted by Mr. Richard Frederick, titled Moving on an Anti-Chasney Drive. As per the clip, he called on various members of the opposition, St. Lucia Labour Party, disgruntled supporters of the United Workers' Party, and all other interested persons to join the cause. The said procession was also advertised by other individuals purporting to be organizers via various media. The statement goes on to read, at the end of office hours on Friday, June 12, 2020, the Office of the Commissioner of Police had not received any application for such a motorcade, which is a requirement under the Public Order Act, Chapter 1405, latest amendment of December 31, 2014. This act relates to the maintenance of public order with reference to public meetings, marches, motorcades, processions, and for connected matters. Under the interpretation section, public marches is defined as any march or procession in a public place comprising, whether wholly or partly, pedestrians, vehicles, however propelled or drawn, or bicycles, however propelled, except a march or procession. The Act authorizes the Commissioner of Police upon receipt of an application to deny or approve such an activity. Again, no application was submitted. The Act makes it an offense to lead or participate in a procession without the prerequisite approval. If permission is granted, it is then the duty of the police to ensure that during the conduct of the activity, law and order is maintained. On the morning of Sunday, June 14, 2020, Mr. Frederick contacted Mr. Milton Daisy, Acting Commissioner of Police, via telephone, and there was a conversation reference to the said motorcade. Mr. Frederick agreed to call off the motorcade since he did not apply and therefore did not have permission to hold such an activity. Later that morning, the officers present confirmed that Mr. Frederick made an announcement on Jeremy Street, Castries, where persons had assembled for the commencement of the procession, stating that permission was not granted for the motorcade. He also urged persons to leave the area. A video of Mr. Frederick making that announcement to the attendees was also circulated on social media. Later during the day, there was information that the motorcade left Castries and proceeded in the direction of Ancillary, despite the announcement of the non-approval at the apparent behest of one individual. That individual was later detained on suspicion of contravention of the provisions of the Public Order Act. The Royal St. Lucia Police Force respects and supports persons' rights to participate in and or organize public protests, marches, meetings, or motorcades. However, we encourage persons to adhere to the laws governing such processes. We also take this opportunity to remind persons that if they insist on leading or proceeding with these unauthorized activities, they will be committing an offense under the Public Order Act. Notwithstanding the provisions of the Public Order Act, we wish to remind the citizenry that we are currently in a state of emergency with statutory instruments which regulate the congregation of individuals. The Royal St. Lucia Police Force wishes to encourage all people in St. Lucia to continue adhering to the laws and protocol as we continue to fight against COVID-19. In relating news, members of the St. Lucia Labour Party have weighed in on the arrest of Christopher Hunt, issuing an official statement on the matter on Monday morning. Opposition leader Philip J. Pierre believes that the action taken against the citizenry, including Hunt on June 14th, was anti-democratic. He says people ought to exercise their democratic rights and will be given a chance to take to the streets in due time.
Television personality Christopher Hunt was detained by police on Sunday, June 14th, just off the fishing village of Canaries. A video capturing Hunt's detention was posted to social media, where he is seen questioning an officer as to why he has been asked to accompany police to custody suites. The St. Lucia Labour Party has issued a statement calling for his immediate release, delivered by SLP Chairman Moses Jabaptist.
The events of yesterday in St. Lucia, in which members of the citizenry who were in an anti-Shasney drive around the island were harassed and frustrated by the police, with one of them being arrested, is another illustration of the truth of the political leader's statement. The police yesterday arrested Christopher Hunt, a broadcaster and critic of the government, on suspicion of being the leader of an illegal protest, according to them. However, the police have been unable to charge Hunt with any unlawful activity, but he has been detained overnight at custody suites. The fact that Mr. Hunt and no one else out of the hundreds who were in the motorcade was arrested clearly indicates that this was a deliberate attempt by the authorities to muzzle and intimidate a known critic of the government and the Prime Minister.
Opposition leader Philip J. Pierre believes that this has been an attempt to stifle the democratic rights of the people of St. Lucia.
These are the signs of things that happen in countries that do not know anything about democracy. These are dangerous signs. And in spite of the fact that you may support a political party, you must stand up for what is right. Even if you will be supporters of the United Workers' Party, you must stand up for what is right, because it happened to your children, could happen to you, could happen to your cousin, your brother, your husband. Pick a guy from the back of his car and say you are taking him to the custody suites, and between the place you have arrested him, there are about 6 or 7 police stations, which is a normal procedure. When you arrest somebody, you take them to a police station.
He announced plans to stage a protest directly after the conclusion of the state of emergency on September 30th.
In the first week of October, the Labour Party is going to be involved in a protest action, and you'll see what happens when the party puts its might behind a protest. And that's why we call everyone to join us, because then you will see what the party's might is all about. Yesterday, our supporters were given the freedom to do whatever they want, and you see what happens. When we're going to call on them, as we call on them now, to join us in a protest, then you will see what protest means in this country.
Pierre says the SLP will apply for police approval long before the date of the protest to ensure that recommended guidelines are met and adjustments can be made to ensure that police requirements are upheld. He urges interested protesters to keep abreast with the SLP social media pages. Jacques Whidding, Hot 7 News.
This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us because when we come back, opposition leader Philip J. Pierre addresses possible arrest rumors. The police are urged to remain politically impartial, and the police front at a weekend protest comes into question.